Welcome to Bearded Gamer. Hey, I'm Alan Blunt.
I'm Aaron.
Yep, and we're trying to be a resource to everybody here. So, hey, if you have a word to say, put it in the comments. Believe me, we'll respond. We're big boys. We won't cry about most things, except money. We've opened up our Patreon page for our Miniature of the Month Club. You should see the link below there. We have levels of tier 1 that you just want to support us. $5, that's cool. Everything else gets you a miniature per month as long as you're subscribed. And we have the tiers going from character miniatures all the way up to giant size miniatures, or giant size models, I must say. And the themes will be, this month, it's going to be fantasy. So you're going to have a beautiful looking wizard, a monstrous displacer beast, and a hill giant. We also have limited memberships for the encounters, which are combinations of those 3 items. So next month we might go sci-fi. We might even do themes like Christmas-based ones, or we might even do Halloween-based ones. But we've got it ready for you to go in, peruse, and also at our top tier, if you wish to get involved in it, we'll also put a character for it. We'll also put together characters for you online and showing you step by step. We will convert your D&D characters over to Savage Worlds. And Aaron is a specialist at creating media and fantasy characters and converting them over to Dungeons and Dragons. It's a passion of his, and you should see a lot of that over on 63rd Legion.
Oh, that was you would not believe what I had to do today, and it is for 63rd Legion, and just about what you just said. I had to do 3 characters for next week
Oh, nice.
because that's what happens when you decide to make a niche character for a channel and it's going to tank your views.
Oh, that's bad.
Sadly, a lot of people on my subscribers don't know that if I don't do a popular character, it tanks my views. But the thing is, I don't always want to do a popular character, so I'm okay with tanking my views, and it's generally like I'm gonna put a big character up next week to fix it. I don't have a big character plan for another 2 weeks, so I'm like, let's flood and just get a bunch of views with whatever characters I have ready to go. And
Also,
it's weird because I have Wadsworth from Clue next week.
Wadsworth from Clue?
I wanted to do Wadsworth. I love Wadsworth.
I am perfectly fine with it. I'm glad that I love that you're going outside the box on this. This is fantastic. But talking about character conversions, what I'm doing for my events going into the future is that I'll be converting classic modules from Dungeons and Dragons over to Savage Worlds to run those in the Savage World system. My first plan is possibly doing something like Against the Giants. And when you come to the table, you'll be handed your characters. You'll be in a 3D immersed world in which I'll have miniatures and terrain for you to run around the hill giant stead. So let's see how that turns out in the near future. If you're ever going to be at Origins Game Fair, that's where you'll see this appear in 2027. 2026, I've got to finish out a Star Wars campaign, and I've got to finish out the Tales of the Seven Dwarves campaign, which I'll go into depth to later on this month or next month. Also, at the end of this month, I'm going to be attending Adepticon as one of the judges there in the fantasy tournament. I'll be playing the ringer and also assist with running that tournament with Andrew Sherman and the rest of his crew. Things I've done this week. Let's see, I joined up a Kickstarter for Mutants and Masterminds, the 4th edition. It's a superhero role-playing game using the True 20 system created by Green Ronin Games. Mr. Kenzer is responsible for that. He's also responsible for the DC Heroes True 20 role-playing game. which is 4 books, and they're hard to get. But I would say if you have the capability of researching those, Googling those, it's a good pick, as they give you hardline stats for each of the DC heroes. Uh, that's I've gone through about over 1,500 pages of material, and wow, it's enough. It's more than enough. Another Kickstarter I got involved with, just a just a miniature role playing game, uh, produced by Sorting Publishing, called Lost and Found. I'd say get into that. And what should be opening up soon is Traveler for 5th edition. It's a Kickstarter. I've been getting buzz work on that. Has not opened yet. Don't have a website for anybody yet. But if you want to see one of the old schools, that is, there are basically 3 role-playing games back in the time Traveler came out. Traveler's one of them. Dungeons and Dragons was another. And oh, I think I forgot the other one. It's that far back.
I kind of want to say GURPS, but I don't think that was it.
No, GURPS was late 80s.
Yeah, I was about to say it was later than that.
It is later than that. But if you look back in time into the 70s, Traveler and Dungeons and Dragons were the premier games at that particular time. Got any questions about that? Put them in the comments. I'm happy to answer any of them. Hey, Aaron, what you do?
1 second, you've gotten me down the rabbit hole of what came out the same time as D&D and Traveler.
Early 70s. And
Probably not going to find anything.
Traveler's it has an interesting thing behind it. It is possibly one of the most technical sci-fi role-playing games you'll ever run into. And you'll find that a lot of game collectors have that game on their shelves and actively do not play it.
Like, I'm seeing a bunch here, but nothing that's like active, and it just accidentally backed up. I saw like Tunnels and Trolls and things
Yes,
like that.
there we go. Yes, Tunnels and Trolls.
So as for me, I've already said I spent all of yesterday working on videos to flood my channel to make up for tanking on one video. I knew it was gonna tank, but frankly, it's a cool character, so I don't care.
There you go. Do
And
it
I'll
for
just
the
say
fun.
it does huh?
Do it for the fun.
Oh,
Always
yeah.
do it for the fun.
Like, it's part of that weird game I told you about, Genshin Impact,
Right.
but the character, I loved it to even though she looks like a kid, but she is a zombie, and the reason why she was brought back is because a pharmacy needed to send people out to get herbs and ingredients for potions, and because she doesn't require air and she isn't affected by the elements, they send her out for days just to collect. And I just find this idea of she has this autonomy because her only instructions when she came back from the dead is help the pharmacy. Because this is more based on Chinese zombies, as in they are brought back, a talisman is placed on them, and that is their orders. So
Okay.
I just found I found this character very interesting. But when I finally finished all 3 episodes, I actually started diving into history and lore on different orcs from the different fantasy genres. Warhammer 40K, World of Warcraft, Tolkien, because I'm fleshing out. I don't probably need to do this, but I am, because I am a psychopath. I am fleshing out the world building for my novel series. Like, where did orcs come from? Where in the big scheme of things do they fall into? Because the background for this, and if you're interested, check out my book From the Shadows. I'm actually working on the second one right now. There are these things called the Eternal Realms, and each one represents a fundamental aspect of existence: light, darkness, life, death, nature, One is called metal, but it's actually not about metal, the mineral. It's more metal as in the mindset of invention and whatnot. But there are all these 20 realms, and each one not only birthed different gods, they birthed different people. And the flow from these eternal realms is what created the mortal realms and what creates magic and all that. And that's how all the different races ended up on the mortal realms. Like the dwarves are from the realm of stone. And because of the connection to the mortal realm, to the realm of stone, they were able to flow into mortal realms. So I was just going through like all different types of fantasy races and going with, okay, what realm do they themselves correspond with? Because like elves would be the fair realm, which is the fairy realm itself. Dwarves, of course, are the stone realm. Elementals are the primordial realm. And I was just, where do orcs fall into? What do I want my orcs to be? Because orcs are a very interesting deep dive into the literary and media history of them since their inception, which technically their inception was J.R. Tolkien, uh, but they're actually referenced earlier than that, but no one knew what they were, so he kind of fleshed them out. So I'd never actually done that. I did a lot of research today on just orcs.
Well, you have to thank Tolkien for everything that he created coming from an English dissertation.
Mhm.
That that is amazing, and he put together a book that outsold the Bible.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, so the man knew had his literary chops. You know, I no, I almost got it mixed up. I was out to say he was contemporary with Robert E. Howard, but no, that was H.P. Lovecraft, who
Yeah.
was contemporary of Robert E. Howard.
Mhm.
But I demand that you put pictures of that girl up when you're talking about her, because
Uh,
I've got to see this person.
she is a chibi, so she looks like a little kid. They have
Okay,
these groupings, but yeah, I will definitely show her. It's funny because
nice.
she's short, she looks like a Chinese zombie, and she is carrying a sword that is the same size as her.
That sounds chibi enough for me.
Oh, yeah. I was watching the gameplay too that my partner got me. Holy hell, like, at one point, Chi-Chi is her name, she just releases this massive ice blast all around her, and I'm like, "This game's got good graphics. It's annoying as hell, but it's got good graphics."
Nice. What's the game called?
Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact. Okay.
Mhm.
Got to see these pics, man. As well as, you have any graphics of the realms that you have for your book or your literary work?
No, I have not, reached out to an artist, like, I do art myself, but I'm not that good. Like,
Okay.
sadly, as you guys are listening to this, we're probably gonna be a couple episodes behind, um, because I have to work on some promo art for not only my first book, but also get the borders and ready for the overlays of a D&D podcast I'm gonna be starting soon. I have not done those, they'll be quick and easy, but I need to get onto some art. But yeah, like
Okay.
I have all these notes on the eternal realms themselves and all the different things that could be going on. Like, um, I did like a, I created this one HP Lovecraft race that my characters are going to go against, and the name of name of the race is a reference to an HP Lovecraft story. The Leng,
There we go. Thank you.
but they do not look like the people of Leng. They are actually something far more horrific because I am a horror fanatic. So yeah, they're weird. But the thing about them is, and this is what I'm trying to figure out how I should add this in because it really shows something. They are actually from the eternal realm of life. And it people hear, "Oh, this is the realm of life," which just means it's life magic, it's divine the healing, all that type of stuff.
Right.
No. It is not. It is a realm of life. Their god is this ever changing, what I like to call, and I've always played with this idea in stories of what would life be if it was completely corrupted, an
Like
ever
right now.
growing cancer. And that's
Like
what
right
their
now.
god is. And at the same time, orcs, I've decided, are from also the eternal realm of life. And they're a very shamanistic warrior race in my thing. Um,
Okay.
I really do want to have like a little, because I cut it out of the second book. I'm going to add it back in at some point. It just didn't work in the second book. But an actual piece of artwork that's described of the creation story of the cosmology, and that, the eternal realms were perfectly crafted jewels that flowed inwards and created this, what did I a typhoon of energy, and that's what birthed the mortal realms. I'm like, I really actually want that as an art piece.
Okay. Yeah, you need to put some pictures up, dude. You need to put some pics up of that. I would love to see all that.
Hopefully one day I get to the point where I kind of think it would be really cool after like a few books if I were to, because I have this file on my computer literally called the Shadow Bible, and it is every single note that I have created for the world building of, my story, from the main gods that are referenced in the story, the characters themselves, history of everything. So I'm like, that would be really awesome if one day I actually just created a book that is just all the information that I'm not talking about in the books.
If it's just 2 words you put on a piece of paper, you can come back to it later.
Yeah.
So so
Well, like, I'm
yeah,
in
that's a
so
process.
far in the first book and the second book, it makes reference of something, an event called the Shadow War, which is explained as, well, you see, there were gods here already, and they had their own people. But then Eberus over here, he is like, no, I want the Dark Realm for myself. So he created a new pantheon of gods to come and conquer the realm. But then one of them betrayed them, saying, I don't want to actually rule the universe. I just want a place where I can be by myself. My followers can hang out. I'm good here. Go screw yourself and get out of there. Like, I keep making references to it, but so far, like, the first book, they're like, wait, who did the gods steal this place from? And in the second book, you actually see references to the original race. Well, you face off against the not you, as in characters face off against. I'm also thinking maybe making a tabletop RPG module for this, just because of how much work I've put into it.
Dude, go ahead, man.
Yeah. But you even see the characters find statues of all these different gods. They go, oh, all these six right here, those are the Shadow Pantheon. So we know them. And then they find two others, like, okay, maybe this one is the exiled god that got kicked out. This one is the missing god who might be dead. And then they find six other statues. And once they look on them, are like, I don't want to know who those are.
Awesome,
I'll
awesome. Now,
I'll tell you one. One god is called Rawhead, and he is the god of the ghoul, and he has no face. So literally, they look at that statue and went, "You know what? No, I don't want to know who worships him. I don't want to know his name. I don't want to look at this statue ever again."
that sounds unnerving. Yes. Yes. Slender Man. Yes.
Actually, no. There is a. That being said, there is actually another one that does kind of look like Slender Man. I th-
Okay.
I can't
Yeah, we
remember
got some
which one that is. I think it's Cheeto. I have chosen,
Cheeto.
and these are all. I like to put references of mythology in. Um, and Cheeto is a god of darkness from I can't remember what mythology he is all of a sudden. I've added so much of them from Algonquin, which is Indigenous American, um, Samoan myths, European myths.
Okay.
Um, shoot, I cannot remember the name all of a sudden of the indigenous people of like the frozen part of Canada and Alaska. I for some odd
I
reason
have
it's
no idea.
yeah, it's skipping my mind for some reason. I don't know why, and I'm not going to say a name unless I know it, because these are actually people. So,
Right. Right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair
Mhm.
enough. How is your book doing?
Well, my first book, because I self-published it, all the marketing has to be done by me,
Right.
uh, and I'm not like world famous or anything, so it's not going. It's going better than anything I would have hoped for, but I'm not going to be quitting my job anytime soon.
One day you will, and not out of anger,
No.
out of contempt. That's how you want to quit your job, out of contempt.
Yeah. Uh, well, before I published, I did a lot of research into like, okay, how difficult is it for someone to self-publish and actually make money at it?
Right.
It's incredibly difficult. It actually can also take a few books before you actually get to the point where you are making a good amount of money every month. Um, so yeah, it's going to be a while before I even get to that. But I have to really amp up the advertising for it,
Right.
just because it took me so long to figure out what I wanted to do for advertising. Because it's really hard to figure that stuff out for like anyone watching from my YouTube channel. Like, no one really understands the amount of work that it goes into everything I do to effectively make enough money to have a nice meal once a month.
Right.
And that is actually how much money I make every month. It's just like, hey, I get to have an incredibly nice meal once a month, but that's all 100% me pushing myself and pushing what I'm doing. Which is why I'm now throwing out next week, though it will probably be a few weeks before this video even comes out, a couple characters that frankly I don't think are going to do well. Um,
For the
but
fun.
yeah, I'm pushing them out for the fun, and because I'm putting them together to, it might them being together might help uh, elevate the views.
Nice. Nice.
Sometimes I'm shocked though. Like I wasn't expecting Fluffy from Creepshow to do anything, and yes, it took him about a month to get to 100 views. But
Okay.
I did it because I wanted to do Fluffy, and someone had requested Fluffy, so I'm doing Fluffy. But then you have things like Alucard, Dracula, and Trevor Belmont from Castlevania. Those guys
Which
hit
are popular.
Yeah, those guys hit 1,000 views in a month
eh,
and are just
Popular.
constantly growing still.
Nice.
Mhm.
Okay. So we finish off with the intros here. So we're going to put in a little word from our sponsor when we come back. I'm going to talk about the Fantasy Companion.
Well, if it isn't my one and only. But what's this, my love? Ooh, you're not alone. You brought a friend again? No? More than one friend? A whole cluster of friends. Well, by all means, allow me to give all of you a hand. I do have a lot of hope for our future tonight. And just how many friends are we talking about here, beloved? Looks like quite a few. Oh no, gorgeous. I'm not shocked by this at all. Oh, and it looks like you brought along some aids to this party as well, my lovelies. I like the way you think. So, babies, how intense do we want this evening to be? We can start wherever you're comfortable and go from there. Oh, don't worry, angels. We'll be touching all the points on the map tonight, from your front steps to your back 40. And no, babies, you will be anything but quiet. Just be sure to spend plenty of time in the ballroom, my dears. Oh, my lovelies, tonight is absolutely going to be next level. But don't fret, I'll make sure we're all linked beings by the time the sun rises. Oh yeah, expounding with you will be pure magic. Don't worry, we'll save the SE for another night. Oh yes, my lovers, tonight is going to be absolutely transcendent. And those screams of horror will become screams of something. Either way, it's going to be amazing. Oh, my babies, the whole cluster of you, what an amazing night.
Hey, welcome back. I'm glad you decided to stay for us. I'm glad that you either enjoyed or you didn't enjoy the little commercial box reel we put in. Try to make them fun. Don't take them serious, but they do exist, and hope that you might get some buzz towards them. So, as you know, I went over the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition last show, and now I'm going to do the first of the companions that came out after that edition had released in 2018. The Fantasy Companion is basically the catch-all for putting together a fantasy world and giving you great structure on how to put it together. First, let's go over the book. The book itself, the beautiful hardbound book, beautiful coloration, costs about $45. Once again, it has art plates at the beginning of every chapter, and I'll be throwing these plates up on the screen while I'm going across the chapter. So you're going to have to forget what I look like for a little bit while I talk about this. So let's go ahead and put a stop in here and jump straight in. So we're going to go to chapter 1, characters. Characters, the character section gives you everything for putting your Savage Worlds character together in a fantasy campaign. It has what are called, once again, ancestries, and there are 29 ancestries to choose from. On top of the 29 ancestries you have to choose from, which go from Aquarians, water-breathing people, all the way down to shapeshifters. If you want to play an orc, it's in there. You want to play a half-orc, it's in there. You want to play a half-giant, he's in there. It has listed here, instead of halflings, half-folk. What? They're half. So, hey, they're in there. Easy enough. But on top of that, you still have the custom makes that you can put together of different types of races from the ground up. All you have to do, different types of ancestries from the ground up. You just have to come to agreement with your GM on what's going to be allowed and what's not going to be allowed. You also have the option of starting your character classes. Well, not classes, your characters, period, because it's basically a classless system. You just choose what skills you want to pick up in creation. But when it comes down to your beginning characters, it's up to you and your GM to determine what's fair advantages to have for your beginning ancestry. Also in this book are a couple of new skills that they have for it. And if you are used to classes and you just can't get away from them, they give you frameworks on each of the classic characters you can put together out of other game systems, Like if you want to, I want to put together a ranger though. Boom, gives you a straight listing of what you have to do to put together a ranger. I want to put together a warlock or a witch. Boom, here's another framework for you. Got everything together for you also. Also, it has new edges in there, and edges are basically one of the great things that drives this system. What sets characters apart from the normal people. They also have edges like background edges, ancestral edges, combat edges, power edges, professional edges, social edges, weird edges, and legendary edges. Oh yes.
Did you say
Oh, there's a lot
weird
of edges.
edges?
Huh?
Did you say
Think of
weird
them.
edges?
Weird edges, yes.
Okay, that made my brain go, wait, what?
Yeah. Beastmaster is considered a weird edge. It's not a magic capability, it's just that you and beasts get along that well. Legendary edges normally can be picked up if you meet the rank requirement to pick up. So as your character is growing, you choose what edges to give your character. And you have the choice of getting an edge when you increase your character, or improving a skill, or getting new skills, or if you want, picking up some new hindrances. Other things that on to the next chapter is gear. Now, here's the pages for gear. Once again, beautiful, beautiful color template here. But let's go ahead and take you over to a gear page to show you there's all the basic gears. But it gives you explanations of currency, of how currency works for you using this system, what masterwork items do, special materials you can use, and as well as a section on poisons. Also, a little bit of clarification on what it means for a weapon to be barbed or toothed. Also a section on making alchemical items. And then it comes to the big type of gear, strongholds. Basically a base for your character. Gives you detailed rules on putting together strongholds, what advantages it has, what complications may occur, what form it takes, and what upgrades you can give it. Upgrades thinking like, oh, well, I want to have an alchemy lab in it. Boom. This alchemy lab now gives you the rules on what your character is able to do in creating magic items. It could have things like stables and all of that. The rules are there for it. Also, other things that it has for the gear section, encounters, also medieval castles, how they affect the game, how useful they are for you, how sieges can be worked out, gives you full rules for traps, and also things concerning confined spaces. Then let's get over to chapter 3, setting rules. Now, this is basically the biggest thing that they can come across in any game system. The settings is, do you want your fantasy style to be traditional fantasy, strangers in a strange land, dark fantasy, high fantasy, low fantasy, historical fantasy, nautical fantasy, superheroic, sword and sorcery, techno fantasy, urban fantasy, and it even has, even after that, other type of fantasies that you might want to consider. So it gives you detailed setting rules that you can give for each of those fantasy settings that you want to have. This is the complete buy-in for me for this particular book. That's the most valuable section of it, as well as updated rules, what type of actions you can take with your setting rules, as well as new hazards for you to deal with. Things like betrayal situations, difficult healing, downtime, how to fight giant foes, and something that to my own heart, villainous conviction. That's just what you want to read up on that. Get what you can out of that. Then we go on to chapter 4, Arcana. This is where the magic system comes into place. Arcana, in this game, your character can pick up what is called an arcane background. And what they've done is that they've given you 14 different arcane backgrounds you can put together, all the way going from alchemist to wizard. And under each arcane background, there are 2 special edges that you can pick up along the way while you're playing this character. They have 2 special in there. You take a guess. Diabolist. What type of arcane character are you looking for, Aaron? Spit one out. See if I got it in this book.
That's actually a good question. Like, it would really depend on the character. Maybe going with what I did originally for that one segment we did. Is there some type of magic that helps with stealth? That
That
type of
helps with
stuff?
stealth. Well, there are powers that help with stuff. Now, what they have in here is they have a list of about 66 powers. This is all in the Arcana section. And the way these powers work is that there's a framework. It's like, let's look at the power Bolt. Bolt costs so many power points to cast. You shoot Bolt and it does this much, damage at this much range. Well, when it comes to selecting the bolt power, you choose. Do you want it to be a firebolt as a trapping? Or do you want this you pick a character you pick when you select this power? Like, I want it to be a firebolt. Then the next time I want to pick a power, hey, I want to be able to cast electric bolts. And what happens is that there are different effects that can go along with the damage that the basic framework can do. They do have powers of intangibility. They also have powers of invisibility. So yeah, there are. They also have powers of silence. Also, what they've done with the powers here is that when you first pick up power, you get it at a certain capability. But there's an edge you can get, a power's edge, that can make you get the advanced ability of that particular power. So the initial bolt, when you first obtain it, it does 2d6 damage. The improved bolt does 4d6 damage. So that's just in damage capacities. But when it comes to things like summoning things, instead of when you first get a summoning skill, I want to summon a bear. Okay, it costs this much. I want to use the improved version of bear. Okay, well, you now can summon several bears. It'll cost you this much power at the same time. It's very good, very, very well done. Also, what they have under here is limitations for powers if you want to cheapen their cost. Cantrips, they have arcane devices, a complete magic building system, as well as one of the big things they have in here is called battle magic. Battle magic can be applied to any of the powers that you have, which would be able to, let's say, okay, I used to be able to just go and cast this on 1, 2, or so many people in a certain blast radius or a certain radius. What battle magic does, it extends the power out to 100-yard radius in either direction, in any direction, and can affect up to 500 people. This is when a mage turns into a mage. Hey, I've got the power puppet. I want this entire army to dance. Dance, damn it. Yes, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. It also has rules for prepared powers, which it gives you that wizard that has that, or that spellcaster that has that one power that he's stored up and prepared for the day, which can have very devastating effects. It just locks a power in place. He's able to still use other things, but when he gets to this one to unlock it, and you're going to have one prepared power at a time, it can have devastating effects. I didn't know you were going to raise a mountain range in the middle of the battle, but okay, thanks. They also have rules for ritual magic. They also have things for domains. If you're planning on doing powers beyond the mortal realm thing, that is, if you want things like other gods and all that involved in it, you can do that. And it comes down to powers. Now, after that is treasure. The treasure page goes from page 149 all the way to 169. 20 pages of different types of treasures you can pick up in a lair, how you can custom make these treasures, magic items, potions, how scrolls are put together, how wands are put together, and it also gives you a list. It also gives you a list of magic items also, just for sprinkling around your campaign. I will tell you right now, a +1 weapon is a powerful weapon in this game. A +2 weapon or a +2 stat capability is devastatingly powerful in this game. Then it comes down to the bestiary that they gave you for the fantasy companion. The bestiary is 200 and over 200 monsters that they put in here to throw into your games. Now, I didn't know Mind Flayer was copyrighted. Yes, that does belong to TSR. Excuse me, Wizards of the Coast. Sorry, aged back too far there. And they have they even have rules for putting together new monsters if you want. I also have a way to convert D&D monsters over to this system, Savage Worlds Fantasy. So if you need any help with that, give me a ring. I can do it for you. Now, they also have two appendixes. One is the world building appendix, which comes with creating your own world, what goals that you want to set, and starting small. And the last appendix in there, they have the planes outside and how they're explained of how they interact with your world. You can create what you want, include what you want, exclude what you want. After that, it's about 268 pages. That's including the index in it. This also comes with the 3 ribbons. And I tell you right now, if they ever eliminate the ribbons from their book, these bookmark ribbons, I'll stop buying the stuff.
More companies need to do that.
Oh, more companies do need to do that. It is produced through Studio 2 Publishing. And I would say that Studio 2 Publishing, if there's a game you're looking for, they most likely have it. But once again, the book costs about $45, and if well bound together, beautiful artwork through it, and it is the end all. And as far as I'm concerned, the best companion they put out for Savage Worlds Adventure Edition out of the 4 that they put out, and that's including the science fiction companion, which I love, as well as the superheroes companion and the horror companion. And I will tell you right now, I've just named them in the order that I like them, but I'm going to give them to you in the order that they came out. The next time we meet, I'm going to be talking about most likely the superhero companion or the horror companion. I forgot which order they came out, so we'll find out when we get back. But that's it for the Savage Worlds Fantasy Companion. The rules just slot in well with any campaign that you're on in Savage Worlds. One of the things I find very, very satisfying about this game is that I can take a character out of any campaign I'm running using this system and shove them into any other campaign, except Savage Worlds Rifts. That's its own thing. Because you're going to be weak in Rifts. Don't care how advanced you are. You're going to be weak. Those guys start out strong. And I'll be doing Savage Worlds Rifts after I finish the companions. Well, that's it for me. You've heard me blah, blah long enough. Okay, Aaron, what else you got, man?
Well, before I talk about what I want to talk about, you just made me remember something. I want to shout this out. So it's announced that finally, not only do they finally have a name for the new edition of D&D, it's now D&D 5.5. About damn time. We've been calling that for 2 years. But they announced that Ravenloft, the horror campaign setting, my favorite setting, is getting its update this year. And they were showing pages. Cthulhu has his own page. Like, Cthulhu is in the book. Like, everyone's going, it literally has a picture of Cthulhu, and right next to it is an entire page with words in big letters at the top, Cthulhu. I'm like,
seriously?
Yeah. I'm like, what is Cthulhu doing in the Book of the Domains of Dread?
Because he's Dread.
I'm like, okay, you had
they ran a ship into his head and he said, I'm tired. they ran a ship into his head. It's like, all right, I got enough of this place.
All right, guys. I wanted to shout that out because I love Ravenloft. I love horror.
Wow.
And I'm excited for that. I was super excited years ago when they announced 5e was getting its Ravenloft update. Yeah, I love horror, and Spelljammers and Ravenloft are my two favorite settings because of how unique and different they are.
Do you realize you haven't seen Ravenloft since not Ravenloft, excuse me, Cthulhu since Fiendfolio?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I mean, the closest we've ever gotten Cthulhu is just a mention with ideas you can throw into a D&D campaign. I think it was in
Right.
5th edition, like either the Dungeon Master Guide or something. No, I think it was the player's handbook. It mentions it because of
Right.
the old one patron. But yeah, but no, he is getting a full page in Ravenloft. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
That is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. But anyway,
That,
what I wanna talk about. So, I have a little bit of a story with why I wanna talk about it.
okay.
So, for you who, follow me on my normal channel, 63rd Legion Gaming, I am a channel that I do not have a sponsor on. Now, for the size of my channel, the only sponsors I could really get are commission sponsors, which would mean, I put it up on the video, I get a code, and every time that code is used, I get a little bit of money, blah, blah, blah. I have never had a commission sponsor because every single one of them are not tabletop related. And I'm not going to do a freaking commission for jewelry. I get that a lot. I've even got stuff for pets. I'm like, do you guys not know what my channel is? But on Saturday, I woke up to an email. So I'm like, okay, what is this? And it was for a commission sponsor. Now, reading it, yeah, they mention things that I do on my channel. They are a TTRPG or a TTRPG company. So I'm like, okay, what do you guys do? And I'm looking and they say they are a miniature company. So I instantly like, I'm going to check this out. Click on it. The first words I see, AI artisans. I'm leaving this gap in here that I'm quiet because I'm trying to properly articulate without having to beep out every single word I can say. I instantly deleted that. I did look at the website though, because I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? I hate I do not like AI. And all it is you write down what the miniature is and they create it from AI. AI slop. That's it. So I want to actually talk about because both Alan and I have very strong feelings about AI. Well, AI in the TTRPG space. I have strong feelings about AI in general. So that's what I want to talk about. But before we begin, I want everyone to understand AI in this sense is not artificial intelligence like everyone thinks it is. No, this is just a BS algorithm understanding program that doesn't know what it's doing. It cannot think for itself. It's highly manipulatable. Like AI, this type of program could be amazing put into research areas for medicine or things like that. Using it for Google is dumb. It's manipulatable. And then you get into why Alan and I hate it. There is no such thing as AI art. There is no such thing as AI artists. I do not care if you want to use AI to create a piece of artwork or yourself. If you can't draw, okay, use AI. As someone who can draw, I am never going to use a commission artist for a D&D character because that is expensive for something that I don't know how long the game is going to go. If it's a miniature for the character, that's something different. That you can design so it could be any character. I'm not paying $20 for a commission artist. If I'm paying $20 for a commission artist, well, I'm going to pay more because I'm getting it for like my book. My book cover was $160 to get that made. And I specifically chose her because she doesn't use AI. When I was looking for my book, for
Thank
the
you.
artist for my book, I can't tell you how many pages I saw that
Thank
were
you,
just,
Adam.
I am an AI artist. You're not an artist. You're feeding prompts. And especially in the TTRPG community, something has happened with AI, and it has created nothing but AI slop. It is just a swamp. I was literally I was watching Crispy's Tavern. They are a YouTuber. They do a lot of different things. They're mostly TTRPG, but they have branched off to they are a journalist. They just graduated college for journalism. So they have decided to do journalism for content creators about scandals and all that, but they also do a lot of TTRPG, and they just talked about AI slop, and how sadly Drive Through RPG and a couple other pages have begun to get flooded with these AI creators. And that
Yeah.
creator is a loose term.
Yes.
the the look on Alan's face right now as he's trying to articulate himself.
Not trying to monetize. Ooh, edit the next part, Aaron. Okay, let's see. Look, if you want to use it for fun, that's awesome. If you're impressed by what you do with AI, that's fantastic. But once you say in the style of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not you. It's not coming from you. The idea might have formed there, but sorry to say, someone else is actually doing the work or something. Yes, it is a tool, and it's a very useful tool. It is helping in medicine. It is helping in engineering.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the creativity, um, it's good at mimicking and copying. I can tell you the level of apoplexy I've had when I'm going across, hey, look, there's a new trailer for this character. Hey, that's up. Boy, if I get my hands on your neck.
I am
you,
now
you
removing
lied
all
to me.
Facebook Reels whenever I'm on Facebook because it's just a flood of AI.
A whole bunch of it. Oh, yes.
And
Oh, yes.
I've
And
actually
it's
seen
horrible.
content creators use AI in a very way that I'm okay with. Like there's one creator, he uses AI to not create unique songs. He does like, hey, what if this song were done in this style? And it's just a reaction to it. He's not
Oh, you talking
selling
about the
it.
professor?
I think we're talking about the same guy. I can't all of a sudden
You're talking
remember
about
his
the
name.
professor. Yes.
He did a one what if Slipknot, before I forget, was done in funk, and dear God, we need a funk band to do that now. It was so
But
good.
and it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to watch. It is fun to listen to. That is the thong song done in the church choir mode.
I I quickly got off of that video. I'm like, no, I don't. I really don't want to know.
Can I do it again?
Yeah, but doing something like how he does it, it's fun. And he's not claiming he's making this. He's not claiming he's an artist.
Right.
I'm not gonna say the band name because of the subject
Yeah.
matter of the song of the songs.
Right.
Yeah, you don't need to know
Yeah.
that. My partner and I love the songs. they're kind of off the beaten path. Like, they don't talk about who they are. They don't do any of that. Led people, are they an AI band? And I'll tell you this, if they're an AI band, yeah, I'm just gonna remove the freaking songs off my Spotify because they don't need to be getting anything.
Uh,
And you know what? Maybe I'll pirate them so they never get money from me again. But but yeah, I mean, I am a very creative person. I always have been. I have been writing manuscripts since I was 20. I've been drawing and making stories for even longer than that. For the majority of my life, I have been doing that. Am I amazing at it? No. You looking at my stuff, I'm like, yeah, it's good, but I'm not like, oh, I can make a living off of this. I can't. There are things I can't do that I've never been able to learn that would stop me from making any type of money on artwork. And if you want to know, I have problems with depth. I've never been able to do it. But maybe it's that makes me have such a strong dislike for people who do the art, but not only that, but do AI generated stories and AI generated modules for TTRPGs. I'm like, all of this stuff is incredibly fun to do for anyone, even if you're not amazing at it. I'll never say I'm good at anything. I never will. I will say I enjoy doing something and I feel I do it decently or pretty well. But you don't need to be amazing to craft a D&D story or a Savage World story or anything. It's just put your heart into it and tell a story that you want to do. It doesn't have to be something like the Spelljammer campaign that I'm going to be doing for YouTube and Spotify.
I missed
That
that.
story, I've put a lot of heart into that story, and it is a tale I really want to tell.
I missed that. I absolutely missed that game.
Mhm.
Ah,
But at the
but
same time, I've also cut in other things that are just fun little stories to break up, the emotion and turmoil and all of that. Like, I believe, who was it? I think it was our friend Mark. I was talking to him, and we were talking about Warhammer K stories, and we were talking about how it can be a little too heavy. You got to throw a little bit of a break into it. So yeah, I am doing this giant story, and it's a thing I want to say. So much about how I feel about the world is being put into this story, and what I want to say about that. But that isn't any different from someone just wanting to run a goofy little story. If you put in just the small bit of effort and you put your heart into it, it's gonna be good. You do not have to go to Chat GTP, whatever. I don't even know what the full thing is. I ignore it.
you almost said the accursed words.
Yeah.
Yes. Chat G.
I do not like it. Like, don't go in like D&D adventure in space. This happens. Bam. Now I have a true original D&D campaign. No, you got AI slop that has no heart. You put the heart in it.
You know what? This is the challenge I want to put out to everybody. If you want to put together a D&D adventure or a sci-fi adventure or a steampunk adventure, if you want help, come our way. Come our way. Come our way.
I
I'm here to be a
actually have
resource for you.
I'm going to throw this into the video. I have an email address that I put up originally, and it hasn't been used for this in a while, but it's there still for anyone who wants to use it. If you want D&D advice or just TTRPG advice, if you want to run things past someone, I have a help email for that. And it is gonzo63rd63rd@gmail.com. And it's been a while since it's been used, but I used to get a lot of emails in there like, "Hey, how do you feel about this? Do you think this is good?" Or asking for tips. A lot of people would be like, "Hey, I need to create a character and I want to base it on this." And I've had whole conversations on there with people. It's also where people were supposed to send my video requests to, but they didn't
Mhm.
listen to that, so they would just put it on the videos themselves, and now it's on my Discord. But yeah, if you ever want to run something by, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel the players would react to this? Or, hey, I want to create this. Just go ahead and shoot me an email at gonzo63rd@gmail.com. And yeah, we'll have a conversation. Like I said, I used to have, or throw it in the comments here. And Alan is on YouTube. Can respond to the. I might run the YouTube channel, but he is there to also watch the comments.
Oh yeah, I'm
Mhm.
in there. You'll hear from me. I'll
Yeah,
respond
like
back.
I'm always been one to foster community. Like there is a Facebook group called Ohio Wargaming. I created that group because I didn't like the fact that there was no single group for wargaming people that they could go, "Hey, I'm at this game store. Is there anyone nearby that wants to play or wanted to talk about like, hey, there's going to be a tournament over here. This game store just opened up," that type of stuff. That's what I created that entire group for, and it's still going. It isn't as big as it used to be because Facebook has just kind of become AI slop, and Facebook does not like showing you anything that your friends or groups are doing. I get more group alerts for groups I'm not even a part of than
Mhm.
actual groups I am in. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm always been someone who goes, we should foster community,
Yes.
especially for games. Well, for anything, but games have always been special to me because they're, as I've said in, I believe, the first episode, to me, they are a social equalizer. It doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter your job, it doesn't matter anything other than the fact that you want to enjoy a game with someone else, even if they're a perfect stranger or someone you've become a friends because of the game. As I've said in that episode, I have played with people that have theological doctorates. I've played with medical doctors, lawyers, the former chief pathologist at a hospital, janitors, people who have worked on Disney on Ice, people who do stage performances for fun, people who are garbage collectors. Like all of us played the game and not a single one of us cared anything else but sharing the game experience. And I think that's also why I don't like AI, because it does kind of dilute the experience of especially the modules being created. And as I said, Drive Through RPG and a bunch of other have become flooded with this slop. And it's just soulless stuff that they just put out for money.
Do you know there are over 25,000 game modules of prepared role playing out there right now?
Mhm.
25,000. And it's growing. And I just want everyone to be confident enough to put something together. Don't shy away from it. Don't be intimidated by it. It's your world, it's your creation.
Mhm.
Let's bring that thing to life. Let's bring it home.
Yeah. And going
Let's do
calling
this.
back to our first episode,
Yeah.
you know what? Some people can't do certain things. I've had games with people, they could not ad lib. So it was very hard for them, and they wanted to DM, but they put a lot of ad-libbing in, and they were panicking more than the players. And I kind of took them aside, like, you know what? You don't have to add moments of ad-libbing if you yourself can't go off script. It's okay to just do a straight adventure where, everything is in line. You're not railroading as long as you're letting the players have fun. So you might be creating an adventure, you're not good at role playing. So play to your strengths. Don't put a lot of moments where they can role play. Just do, like I said with the labyrinth here, just play it as a straight move through. But then you might not be someone who likes doing combat and wants more social encounters. Well, create something that focuses on that. Just remember that everyone wants something different, but you can do this stuff and it's pretty easy. You don't have to worry. You don't have to turn to these freaking machines to do all the heavy lifting for you when they're not doing any of the heavy lifting. Just as you have the AI bots created a module adventure doesn't mean you're going to be anywhere near prepared to run that adventure if you do not even know anything about it. If you put nothing into it, you're not going to be able to. Someone has actually asked me if I use AI at all because of the level of stuff in my games. Like, for you who are wondering what that means, I've thrown 2 decks of many things at my players at the same time. You know what happened? It didn't ruin my game because I'm prepared for it.
Yep. Yep. Players aren't, but you are. But
Players were not, but I sure as hell
players,
was.
but being ready for air condition. Ah, look,
But
guys,
it's
if you
because I
need to
put it
hold a
in there.
hand, guys, if you need to hold a hand, I've got one out. I've got a hand out if you want to hold one. Do not slip your hand to that digital sleeve. It's going to do nothing for you except control your narrative. And is it putting together your narrative or what it guesses is a narrative? You're not going to like it. Your creativity is within you. You have the capability. I believe that you can do it. The only person I think that's having an issue with it is yourself.
Mhm.
So come on, guys, let's have fun. Let's
Mhm.
create something new. Let's create something fun. I
Mhm.
would love to help someone get a group and go through the experience that you created. I
Mhm.
would love to help with that. I'm not going to run it.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is all you. But I can help you. I can help you try to flower your creativity.
Mhm. And for you people who need, character art or character minis, but can't find them at stores, you do know that there are companies that help you design minis. Hero Forge. I use Hero Forge all the time, not to create minis, but to create an image that I can look at and say, okay, so this is what I feel like this character should look like. That being said, I never have hair on any of these people. So I'm like, the hair is designed on a later date by hand, but like how the
Yeah,
face should look, I use that a lot for my
yeah.
art.
You
And you
could
can
possibly
easily
tell
do
why. You could possibly tell why we don't focus on hair. And
Well, I never have hair on the going to print it out. If I'm using it as a stand-in model for art, hair, I do not like any of the hair used on any of those websites. I just don't feel like they fit the character, so I just leave them off and I freehand hair when I'm designing the characters. I just go there like I need the bone structure for the face. How does the face look? I don't need the eyes. I just need the bone structure for the face, cheeks, nose, all of that. Everything else I will add in. Had the design of the eyes, the shape of the hair, that's all done by freehanding it. But yeah, there are websites that you can use to create your own minis. And you know what? A screenshot of a painted mini on Hero Forge. Hey, you now have a picture of your character. Like, seriously, you don't need art. Take some time to really dig into the character, create something. All right, yeah, but that's what I wanted to say. Just because the fact that this website had the audacity of calling itself an AI artisan, um, and as I said, no, I turned that sponsorship down quickly. Like, no, I'm not gonna promote AI anything on my page.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
that's my spiel. My controlled spiel. We could have gotten pretty creative with what I was gonna say, but we're not.
yep, yep, yep. Get it ready. Get the mute button ready. Uh, anyways, we'd like to thank you for the time that you decided to spend with us today. We now have a Patreon page. Please click the link below, give it a look. Also, see if you can like this video. We want to continue to do this. We want to keep the lights on. And also, we want feedback. How can we make this better for you? And try to come up with some entertaining content for us. Next week, I'll be going over the next companion for Savage Worlds. The Miniature of the Month Club is now on swing on our Patreon, and I really appreciate the time that you're taking with us.
Yeah, just check the description below for all the information, for the Patreon, for my YouTube channel since we talked about it, for my book since we talked about it, for the help email since we talked about it. Anything we talk about is going to be right below in the description. So,
And guess what? We might be opening something up on Discord for some quick, immediate response. That's another site. I'll take charge of trying to put that together. Yep. But I like the idea of Discord is that you can jump on in and we can talk verbally and basically mash stuff together. Okay. Well, loved everybody. Glad you can make it here. Welcome to Bearded Gamers. We had to change from Beards and Games because it belonged to somebody about maybe 2 years ago and they didn't go far. I don't want that stank. But we are Bearded Gamers. And this is much your channel as much as ours. Thank you.
enjoy your games and have a good week.